Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expected, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I'm talking about y'all. You know I'm talking about y'all. Fits me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Don't forget to get your black girl. I'm sorry. Don't forget to get your black girl vitamins. The discount code is in the chat. It is pinned to the top of the chat. You guys, please make sure that y'all check it out. Use your discount code ReallyBTV for 20% off your first order. Okay. Also, don't forget, tonight is the Whether You Like It or Not panel. We will be on Sakina's channel. I will have the link on my community wall if you are not subscribed. Although you should be. I don't know why you're not subscribed. Okay? All right. Child. So listen, this is going to be, we're going to talk a little bit about, child, we got a little information today about the whole Brit Eady of it all. We probably won't be here that long, honey. We're going to talk about a little bit about this Brit Eady situation. And then we're going to go ahead and get out of here so I can head on over to Sakina's house, honey. Y'all know I got to stop and get me something to eat on the way because there ain't going to be nothing there but air to eat. Okay. Y'all know when Sakina is hosted, child, we don't have nothing but, rice cakes and cauliflower. But anyway, what's up, y'all? What's up? So, sorry, I got a text as soon as I went live. All right. With that being said, sorry, y'all. With that being Don done dropped down. Y'all know what that means. If Don dropped down, y'all will know what that means. Y'all know what that means. What that mean? It's time to do what?
I said close them doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
It's time to close the doors. The ushers are at the door. Feel free to leave your donation in the basket. Okay? If Don done dropped down, it is time to close the doors. Hey, what's up, Papa? Look, I was about to get mad at first. I said, is he calling me Precious? But then I realized that that's one of my boos, so I can't be mad. If it had been a number, if it had been a name I didn't recognize, I had to be like, are they trolling me, calling me Precious? Hey, boo. Now listen. We all know what happened last night. Let's go through a few things that happened last night. Down to the Watch What Happens Live after the show. Brit Eady was a guest last night. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Andy seemed just as confused as the rest of us. Thank you, boo. Thank you so much. Andy asked Brit point blank, what is it that Kenya did to you? And I do have a couple of other clips to play for y'all, but that clip I did not save. Hold on. Because maybe y'all need to hear it because Andy sounded like he was confused, okay? And maybe we need to hear what, because he asked her point blank. He was like, what did Kenya do to you? And her response was, hold on. Oh, it'd be nice if y'all know my fingers be moving faster than my Andy Cohen. It would be nice if I spelled Brit Eady correctly, then maybe it'll come up. Okay. Hold on. The clip gotta be here from last night. Hold on. Thank you, Holly Young. Pass the plate. Thank you for the $9.99. She said, pass the plate. Yeah, she could not explain herself. And she just kept repeating, well, and then she even said at one point, well, it was just a look. I mean, you just know when somebody doesn't like you. You just know when somebody doesn't see it for you. Like, girl. All right. Let me see if this is it right here.
Goes to the news that the mega successful kids show Bluey, which we watch every morning. What's happening?
No, that's not it. Sorry, y'all. All right, I don't have that clip queued up. I don't have because I want y'all to hear what Andy said.
That I allowed her to trigger me. So it should.
Has anybody?
Okay, I don't have the clip. Never mind, because I don't have the clip queued up. But basically, what she said was that Kenya was coming for her from the beginning. You want to send it? Yeah, send it to me, please, little baby. That Kenya was coming to her from the beginning, and because Andy was like, well, I mean, we saw the ring, but what about what else? What else happened? Did anything? Well, I mean, how when somebody just has something out for you, somebody has it out for you. Like she could not articulate anything tangible or concrete that Kenya had done to her outside of the comment about the ring. And I mean, obviously the night, because he said, what got you so upset the night of the party, like the night of the vault? What got you so upset that you threatened her? Thank you, Lee. Thank you, boo. And so then he was, and we're on both channels, you guys. So we're on both channels today. So he was like, well, right, she did. She sounded like a whole 4-year-old. So then what we did find out though was that Bravo did do an investigation, or the production. I don't know if it came from Bravo or the production, but they did do an investigation after Brit said what she said. So I feel like a lot of people think that nothing was done. Now, let me be clear before people start saying, well, how do we know what happened? Because the investigation wasn't done that same night. So how do we know that she didn't really have a weapon? She could have been lying. Absolutely. All of those things can be true. She could be lying. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. All of those things can absolutely be true. However, all we can do is all we can do. If the threat was made and Bravo did an investigation, I'm sure they asked the people who were there. I'm sure they looked up to see if she had a weapon registered in her name, which I know none of these things are 100% concrete, right? However, that's all they can do. I mean, to say, well, how do we know that just because they investigated after the fact and they could have gotten rid of the gun? Okay, well, that's the same thing that happens in any investigation. I mean, we could say the same thing about the police. Well, they investigated after somebody got unalived. How do we know that they got the right person? Well, they investigate and they use the evidence from the information that they gather and they draw a conclusion. I understand why people would say, well, how do we know? How do we know? But at the end of the day, all you can do is all you can do. If they interviewed Brit, if they interviewed her husband, if they interviewed Kelly, if they interviewed the rest of the ladies to hear what was said. Thank you, little baby. Thank you. I'm about to play it now. If they interview all of the people to hear what they had to say, and then they drew a conclusion based on those facts, that's all they could do. Because the threat was already made. So that's all they could do. But again, I do understand how people feel like, well, it was bull hockey, whatever. All right. Sorry about that, child. Let me turn my ring off too so y'all can't hear it every time somebody text me. Okay. Let me let y'all hear. Thank you, little baby, for sending it to me. Let me let y'all hear what Andy said.
Why did you initially come after Kenya so hard? Like at the bank dinner, why were you so agitated with her?
You know, I think people don't realize, or even like the ladies in our friend group, she had something against me since day one. So even with the ring comment, I felt like...
But it couldn't have just been the ring comment.
I don't think it was just the ring comment, honestly.
Okay.
I think there's something that was brewing, that there was a reason why she didn't like me. I felt like she was holding on to...
But did she say anything else or do anything?
You know what? She didn't say anything, but the fact that she was just so welcoming and so nice to ladies she's never met. And for me, I've never met Kenya.
Okay.
So I was like, why me? Why are you being nasty towards me?
So again, you can't articulate it, so I can't, Xavier, I don't think, to me, that's a distinction without a difference. You said Brit can't be trusted. I can agree with that statement. But you said last night she said teen before it was underage. That's a very specific difference. What's the difference between a teenager and underage? 18 is teen. You're saying like 18 or 19 could be the difference? Is that what you're saying? I guess. Thank you, Papo. Thank you, boo. Thank you for the super chat, my love. I see what you're saying, because somebody could be a teenager and be 19. So I see what you're saying. So, and here's the thing, Amber, thank you so much. You do not have to like everybody you meet, okay? Now, last night we saw, and I do have this clip ready. Thank you so much. So I asked y'all today earlier, do y'all think that makes a difference that we found out that Bravo did actually do an investigation? Do y'all think that makes a difference? And most of y'all said no, because a threat is still a threat. Whether she really had a weapon or not, it doesn't mean anything. A threat is still a threat. So, Kim says, we can tell when someone doesn't feature you, and they don't have to be mean or say something to you. It's an energy thing. Right. I agree with that. But saying that I didn't think Kenya liked me versus Kenya had it out for me, that's two different things. Like, you're right. I can meet somebody and be like, I don't think they like me. I don't think they really feeling me. They didn't think my jokes were funny. You know what I'm saying? I can agree with that. Right? I can agree with that. But to say that somebody was coming after you, I need you to articulate that. I need you to be able to give me a concrete, what did this person do? But you're right. You can get a vibe. You absolutely can get a vibe that somebody don't like you. Okay. Kenya was being a mean girl. I did not see where Kenya did anything to this woman. I really didn't. But again, other people can feel that way. I don't even think that the ring comment was, I still didn't see where the ring comment was an issue. I just didn't. I didn't then. I still don't. I've heard it a million times. But anyway, so last night, let's get into the title of this video, which is why is Brit Eady's, why was she under investigation, right? Now, this is based on some information I found. Shout out to TikTok, child. Okay, so let's look at this first clip. Y'all know I ain't gonna play a lot of it because Lord knows I ain't trying to have Bravo flag me. But we're gonna listen to a little bit of the scene from last night. Hold on, let me share my screen so we can get into a little bit of the scene from last night. The chick was wearing an engagement ring. Anyone would ask, especially when we're talking about marriages. And she said something about her second ring. So Kenya was like, is this your second marriage? Like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, child. Okay, so let's play this a little bit. This is from last night's episode where Angela, let me take this down. This is from last night's episode. It's going to be on Sakina's. So let's play that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Based on
really?
what?
Right.
What do you
on
mean
what
based
grounds?
off of what? Are you confused? What's been going on?
They said she
All right, let me go back to the beginning. Hold on.
Her insurance license.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Based on really? What? Right.
What do you
on
mean
what
based
grounds?
off of what? Are you confused? What's been going on?
They said she insurance.
So now, first of all, she started off by saying she lost her insurance license. right? She said she lost her insurance license. And then Angela said, based on what? Because, and her response was, what do you mean based on what? Have you not been paying attention to what's going on? So, Angela, I'm going to let y'all see a little bit more about what Angela had to say, honey.
What do you mean based off of what?
Where's that energy coming from with me? I'm licensed as well. In order to lose a license, there has to be cause. What was the cause?
I think that's a fair question. She said, in order for you to lose your license, there has to be cause. What was the cause? Because remember, y'all, I know when we're filming reality shows that sometimes time is not always succinct, but this wasn't that long after the incident. This might have been a week, maybe a couple of days to a week after the incident. So, girl, you mean to tell me they didn't investigate it and took your license in that little bit of time off of what allegedly happened down to, well, not allegedly, child, we know what happened, down to the salon opening? I think Angela was very valid. And I was here for all of Angela in this scene, okay? Angela was giving me what I needed in this scene.
The question I asked. Britt, to be honest, this same energy.
Today is for me.
How? It's always been
how?
for you.
How?
This energy,
What's
this
the
is
energy?
a peace offering. You're not coming in peace. I just asked you.
She said, girl, this is a peace offering. You are not coming in peace. Okay, I just asked you a question. Now, y'all know I have to keep stopping it and starting it because ain't nobody trying to get no copyright from Bravo.
A question of how did you, on what cause? And you just ate me up.
I'll wait till you're done.
You just ate me up. And you failed to take responsibility for how we even got here.
Do that.
Now, I think, Angela brought up another valid point. She said that you are not taking responsibility for how we got here, meaning going back to the night at the vault when you threatened that woman, not defending or justifying, but just being honest about the sequence of events. Okay? All right.
Read the room.
Why?
Read the room.
Why is she not here?
Read the room. These ladies don't read Kelly. They have been speaking to Kenya. They have been having her back.
Speaking to Kenya doesn't equal having her back. It just means I know Kenya. I got her phone number. I have a relationship, and I'm listening to what Kenya said. It does not mean that they were on Kenya's side, girl. They don't know you.
How do you guys expect me to feel? Read the mother.
I'm reading the room. I am reading the room. No, I'm not slow. You're slow because you like to throw rocks and hide your.
My hands are right here. My hands are right here. Oh, you're on. More peaceful. Hold on. Can I get a real drink?
So what I thought was funny in this scene was when Angela went to the other side of the table, sat next to Shamia, and then Shamia asked the exact same question. But let's listen to what Brit says when Shamia asked the exact same question. All right.
And they drink. The dictionary defines peace as tranquility. Need tranquilizers. There's nothing peaceful about this event.
Angela, do you mind swapping seats?
Come sit by me.
All three of us will leave. Me, Polly.
Child, she said all three of us will leave. Me, Polly, and Esther. I love how she made fun of herself with that dress. I'm here for that. I'm here for that, Angela. I was here for Angela in this scene.
Polly and Esther.
You ladies just don't know how to act on my nice Williams-Sonoma tablecloth and these beautiful lemon arrangements. I'm just like, where's Kenny?
Baby, she called. Why they call him Little Kenny? Nobody, God, should ever be called Little Nothing. Little Kenny. Who called that boy Little Kenny? All right, we almost at the part. Y'all know I got to keep pausing this, child.
Come get them. I don't know why they acting like that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm totally fine.
We're here for Brett. We're here for my girl. I want to make sure that everybody feels good, but you can't take them nowhere.
I thought this was a peace bride.
It is, and we're about to be more peaceful right now. We switching gears.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Woosah.
Now I'll ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I thought, when I watched this last night, y'all, I thought Shamia was getting ready to ask a totally different question. I thought Shamia was going in a totally different direction. But no, Shamia did not.
Good. So, Brit, how did you come about losing your license?
So this is what's going on. Because of all of the backlash and the defamation, I'm under an investigation with.
Being under an investigation is totally different from losing your license. So, ma'am, you did not lose your license. You are currently you were under investigation for your license. You did not lose your license. So, in the same scene, you didn't change your story.
My insurance license. So you don't lose them immediately. It doesn't work that way.
Awesome.
So what was that, Angela?
I said I thought.
And Angela said, I thought so, because that's literally what Angela was trying to get you to hear 5 seconds earlier. That's literally what Angela was trying to get you to understand. Okay. So, right. And they would not put you under investigation over something like that. Okay. So that was, I wanted y'all I know we all watched the episode last night, but I wanted y'all to understand where I was coming from. So down to the tiki-taki, Ash Giorgio, he did a little research. So let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to let y'all watch what he came up with. And this might bring us to why she was under investigation, which may say that she was under investigation before any of this even happened. Maybe. Okay. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta's live season. Child. All right, let me share my screen. She should have been under investigation for what she said for sure. How do we know she was even at risk of losing her license? She's like putting 20 on 10. Well, let's look at this, honey. And let's see how we feel about this. Now, this is Ash Giorgio down to the Giorgio says, down to the TikTok. So shout out to Giorgio. I hope he won't have a problem with me sharing his TikTok. Okay. So let's listen. I'm gonna go back to the beginning so we can start at the beginning.
Here, but there was,
and maybe this is why she was under investigation, which again would bring us to which again might bring us to her already being under investigation. So let's listen.
There's another poster board that really stood out to me that was not shown.
Oh, and let me apologize. I said yesterday that people did not have cameras, and if they had cameras, we would have seen the pictures. My apologies. People did post pictures. And again, this is one of the pictures that people posted. Somebody put it in my comments last night to remind me of that. So I apologize, y'all. When I say stuff that's wrong, I don't have no problem coming down here and apologizing. But we remember this poster board right here that says insurance fraud hoe. Now, we didn't know what was written on here, but there was a whole, because remember we told y'all there was more than one poster board, or more than 2 or 3. Kenya had a whole thing of poster boards, right? And one of them said, this one said insurance fraud hoe. Now let's hear what the insurance fraud allegedly might be.
Do you guys remember when this all went down and people that were at this event were leaking photos from the situation? And there was a photo here of a poster board that said insurance fraud hoe. And then there's some text and some article. You obviously can't read it, but last night's episode, we see Angela kind of call out Brit, not for lying so much, but asking her, well, why would they just take your license away without cause? What was the cause? And then obviously we saw her snap. But essentially, we know that she doesn't have her insurance agency anymore. And in fact, she was with Allstate under, their umbrella for 3 years before she ended up selling that agency. And now she has a whole agency, as she calls it, called Jumpstart, or Agency Jumpstart. It's basically a masterclass on how you can be a successful insurance agent, owner, whatever.
So again, when Brit keeps saying she has an insurance business, she doesn't have an insurance business. She sold the business. It's all, but what it looks like is that she does not have her insurance business anymore, but she does sell classes on how to become an agent. Let's keep listening.
By following her blueprint. And you guys know I'm very nosy. You guys know this. So I went through and I dug through the entire website. I went through disclaimers, refund policy, went through all the bits. I did everything except buy this masterclass. And here are all the major red flags. And I'm going to say this up front. Don't ever buy anyone's course, okay? Don't. Most of the time, the things that are in those courses you can find online. You just got to do a little bit more digging. But if you really want to learn, the information is out there. Now let's get into this website and all the red flags. So first thing that stood out to me, this entire website, everything about this masterclass is so super vague. No clear outline of any of the deliveries, of the formats or modules or any of that stuff. So essentially the user has no way of assessing the value of this product before opening their wallets.
Okay, so very vague. Okay, no specific deliverables. Okay.
Red flag number 2, no verified reviews or testimonials, not even any fake ones from any of her friends. I mean,
child, she didn't even recruit her neighbor to write one. She didn't even recruit her neighbor to write a testimonial. Okay. Okay.
No students have bought your course yet. I mean, I think this website opened in 2023 or something, or at least that's when the disclaimer was written. And there's no social proof, nobody, not even a Facebook group. Nothing. There is a very much heavy reliance on her personal success, although she doesn't really map out what those actually are. So here's what I'm going to say. If you actually want to be an insurance agent or own your own agency, if you just contact State Farm, Allstate, Nationwide, any of them, they have programs where they will essentially teach you everything you need to know and then help you open your agency for free. It's very limited contact information on there.
So basically, everything she's selling y'all can get for free. Just go directly to Allstate, Nationwide, because they're always looking for agents. Okay, I've even took the classes to try to sell before, child. Okay, it's too much for my brain. I couldn't get through the classes. It was just too much. It was too much for my brain. But okay.
It's very vague. There's no phone number. There's no physical address. And it comes off more like a sales funnel website rather than an actual like educational platform, because they use these buzzwords like once in a lifetime opportunity and get my secret sauce. There's not even any real educational credentials as she's listed. And I know she went to college, so at the very least you could put that in there, or at least talk about your experiences when you had your own agency as an insurance agent. But this is the best part. Strictly no refunds, guys. That's right. You're not going to be able to see anything about how the course works until you buy it. But if you get in there and realize this is all stuff I could have Googled, well, too bad, so sad. And if you buy into any of her subscription models and you try it out for 2 days and you're like, this has no value, well, you're still going to be stuck paying the entire month. There's no prorated refunds either. And in the disclaimer, these are also red flags. They are saying we have zero accountability for anything you see in there, or if the links that we have to other places to give you the information and they do something shady, we are not responsible, so don't come over here. And I have not seen any type of press or any type of media surrounding this company, whatever it is. So again, I wonder, is this going to be a theme throughout the season? Is this where the ladies start to pick up on maybe there's something off about this?
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, could it possibly be that she may have already been under investigation prior to this situation based off of maybe people bought the course and they were dissatisfied and they filed complaints? I'm not saying that they did or they did not. But what we do know is, girl, you were not being investigated because Kenya posted up a picture of you giving fellatio the week before at an event that nobody from the insurance board was paying attention to. Baby, that's not why you were under investigation. Now, from my understanding, the investigation, she was cleared, so she didn't lose. Well, she didn't lose, I guess, her website or her business or whatever. But allegedly. Not allegedly. Wait a minute. Donna said, I shouldn't have to do a deep dive to see what type of insurance she works with, as well as a licensed insurance agent in 49 states. Brit be tripping. Now I understand why she's being investigated. Exactly. So again, that's why your ass got so snippy when Angela asked you for what reason. Because like Angela told us, baby, I am an agent as well. I'm a broker. I think she said she's a mortgage broker or something. So she understands what the law says. And she knows that the law says, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am. The law says these are not reasons. That what happened down to the salon is not a reason why you would be investigated. And it's certainly not a reason why you would have lost your license, which is what you started off by saying. You started off by saying you lost your license. Then you said you were being investigated. But my argument, and y'all tell me if y'all think differently, my argument is that she would have been under investigation prior to this incident. Did she say she sold the business and her sisters were upset that she did it without them? She did. She did. Was she ever licensed to sell? Well, according to that video, she was at one point in time. She did actually work under the Allstate umbrella. So it sounds like she was at one time. But it sounds like that's not what she's doing now. She's putting some sauce on it like they do on these shows. Yeah, she's putting sauce on it for sure. Being caught in a lie and make people angry. Mm-hmm. Angela read the boy. Maybe that was the one. Maybe she read the boy. Maybe that was the boy she read, honey. But again, I do apologize to the people when I said last night that ain't nobody had no video or pictures, because I do remember now people did. Not Brit gives Tubi and Zeus vibes. Ponzi much? Yes, honey. Ponzi much? Very possible, yeah. Yeah. When are people going to learn that bloggers and content creators are investigators as well? You can't have any secrets, which brings me back to if them pictures was on a public website, somebody would have found them by now. That's just my opinion. Now, last night she did admit that she paid a service to scrub the internet so that the pictures once upon a time sounds like they were out there once upon a time. But I still feel like they were on paid sites. But I don't know that to be a fact. It's very unlikely that the Secretary of Georgia launched and finalized an investigation on Brit for the Kenya Moore hair spa incident within 2 weeks. Say it again, Cahoots, for the people in the back. Say it again for the people in the back, honey. Now, first of all, before we get out of here, thank you so much for the super chats. I want to thank Holly, Papo, and Liberia Rose. Thank you so much for the super chats. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. We have 400 people in here. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, you guys. Please do that. And again, donations are not required, but they are appreciated. You can Cash App, you can super chat, honey. We appreciate them all, okay? But I just wanted to bring that down here as I was scrolling through the TikTok. Not once upon a time, not long ago, I was, and I'm admitting it. It's hard for me to believe that Kenya felt scared or threatened that she would be pow and just decided to print poster boards. You know what? That's how I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey Diva, that's how I feel too. Don't get me wrong. Was Kenya pissed off? Sure. Did Kenya feel like what Brit did was unnecessary or over the top? Absolutely. But threatened for, girl, why you poking the bear? Angela needs to film with Brit sisters. Somebody need to film with Brit sisters. Now, let me say this. Oh, before we get out of here, let me say this. People are already logging off. They're going to be mad because I'm gonna drop a little something too. Portia dropped her episode, her little review today. And really only two things that happened in that review that were worthy, because she tried to do a mukbang. Portia, listen, Portia's YouTube channel has ADHD written all over it. And as somebody who suffers, I concur. Baby, she all over the place. She is all over the place doing these reviews, but she is entertaining. I will say that. Yeah, I do. I have two channels, mother one. Yes, I have two channels. With that being said, though, two things she said. The first thing she said was that Brit and Angela get into it throughout the season, and that is going to get worse. That is going to get worse the longer we get into the season. So what we saw last night was sort of the appetizer that Brit and Angela continue to bump heads, right? So we have that to look forward to. And maybe her sisters do play a part. I don't know, but I would love to see it. I would love to hear the sisters' point of view on what happened. Then Portia said Kenya got fired. Now, before y'all start leaving them comments in my chat like y'all did last week, talking about Portia's a liar and why we listening to Portia, I'm not getting into all of that. I am just saying that Portia is using the same language. Portia is using the same language, and Portia is a lot closer to the situation than all of us. She's a lot closer to the situation than all of us. And she used the language, Kenya got fired. Now I know y'all team, especially Team Twirl, don't like to hear that. Kenya said on the Tamron Hall show that she was still on payroll. I got that. People get fired all the time. Listen, there's a whole lot of federal employees right now that are fired and are on administrative leave until a certain date, and they're still getting a paycheck too. But they don't have a job anymore. They don't get up. They've already had to turn their computers in. They've lost their email privileges. They've lost the access to any of their work content, and they're still getting a paycheck too. But they don't have a job. So again, it's all about what your definition is of a job. All I know is if my job called me tomorrow and tell me thank you, but no thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. We don't need you to show up anymore, but we're going to pay you for the rest of the school year because your contract isn't up until June the 30th. So we're going to keep paying you until June the 30th, but we need you to bring us your computer. We're going to shut down your email. So we need a contact number for you. We need to be able to contact you outside of this. Baby, I got fired. Now, I might be okay with getting fired because I can lay in my butt in bed every day and still collect a paycheck. But baby, you got fired. Tracy is our HR expert. She says several severance packages are real. Plus, Kenya was most likely a 1099 contractor. They just let her contract run out. And that's the other thing I keep telling y'all. These housewives are on year-to-year contracts. No matter how popular you are, they are on year-to-year contracts. That's why at the end of every season, the question is who's coming back, who's coming back, who's coming back. These people don't have multi-year contracts. And if they do, they're the exception and not the rule. There might be one or two that have been able to negotiate, but for the most part, baby, exceptions, not the rules. Exceptions, not the rules. Year to year. And that's why what happened with Nene, people was like, Nene was the anchor. Nene was the OG. Nene was the star. Nene was on a year-to-year contract just like everybody else. Candy was on a year-to-year contract. You're saying Candy was the exception. I think Candy, but listen, child, I don't know. But I know that anybody that was on more than a year-to-year was the exception and not the rule. But by rule, these Bravo celebrities are season to season. You think Karen is one of those who had a multi-year contract? Shit. Well, she must have had a hell of a manager, agent. B. Scott said from the beginning that Kenya was fired and stood on it, and they were friends with Kenya. That's what. Listen, I told y'all Kenya was fired from the beginning, but baby, y'all drugged me. I ain't know what I was talking about. I was a lot child. Y'all can go back. I did that video back in June. I don't know the exact date, but it was like the second week in June because I told you. I remember I was in Atlanta and I was me, Ebby, and Kiss My Cheeks and El Teddy. We was all hanging out. We went to the T.S. Madison show. We was in Atlanta for a couple of days, and I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. I told y'all back then. I did a video, and baby, y'all can't. Team 12 came for me, honey. You think Candy got a spinoff added to her car? And that makes sense. So maybe for the ones who had spinoffs, they had a different structure. Because Karen had a spinoff, Candy, Nene, Portia. So maybe for the people who've had spinoffs, there's a different structure because of the spinoff. That makes sense. That makes sense. They probably just had two different kinds. Yeah, it makes sense that if you were doing other business with Bravo, then it makes sense that your contract might be layered and tiered and all that stuff. That makes sense. That makes sense. I hope we have about 400 likes because we done had over 400 people in here, and across the two channels. Let me say that across the two channels, we've had over 400 people. So if y'all can please hit that like button, we're about to get out of here. Don't forget, we'll be back in an hour on Sakina's channel. I don't think Kenya ever had a spinoff. If she did, I don't remember it. But I do not think she did. I cannot recall Kenya having a spinoff. Because remember, when she got pregnant, she didn't share it with Bravo. When she got married, she didn't share it with Bravo. She didn't want to talk about it at the reunion. She did, because remember, that's why she got fired that first time when she got fired, because she wouldn't share her pregnancy. Nene had a spinoff. Remember when her and Greg got remarried? Nene had a spinoff. She had the wedding special. Candy's had. I feel like Candy's probably had more spinoffs than anybody. I think Lisa Vanderpump might be the only other person, but Candy had a wedding special. She didn't have a baby special, and then she had 2 other TV shows or 2 other shows. And then 3, because remember they had the one where they went on the vacation. They went skiing with Candy and her family. They went skiing, and then of course we know Candy and the gang. And then what was the other one? Didn't Candy have another spinoff? I thought Candy had another spinoff. Escape. Right, it was the wedding. Escape. Oh, you're saying the Escape shows. Yeah. So how could I forget the Escape shows? Yeah, so they had 2 seasons of the Escape show, the ski trip, Candy and the gang. Yeah. And then Lisa Vanderpump, she's got Vanderpump Rules. She's got the spinoff on Peacock. And I feel like Lisa Vanderpump had another show too. I feel like Lisa Vanderpump had something else. So I feel like Lisa Vanderpump is probably, her and Candy are probably neck and neck with spinoffs with Bravo. Oh, she did one creating a singing group. Thank you, Callie girl. Candy Coated Nights. Yes, that was on Bravo for a while. The Candy. Yeah, Candy. I think Candy has it. I think Candy's got the most spinoffs. And she says she's working with NBC Universal on something now. She's actively working on something now with them. I'm here for it. I like Candy. Candy and the gang will be on Zeus. Oh, Lord. Damn. Anyway. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here for real. I gotta do something before we go live with the Whether You Like It or Not panel. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.